What's going on, everybody? Hope you all are having a great day today. Just came across this article, and wow, potentially being able to buy crypto in your 401k and or private equity and opening up the options and what you can and can't buy. This is some big news. So let's get into this article. Let's break it down. Let's see what the experts have to say, and then I'll come back at the end with my own opinion. So let's get into it.
A potential big change is coming to your 401k. A new executive order from the president allows companies to expand the types of investments you can use, opening the door to crypto and other non-traditional investments. So let's get to CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady. Kelly, happy Friday to you. Can you help us break this down?
Yes. So just first and foremost, this is something that's going to take a while. It is not like tomorrow you're going to be able to take some of your 401k and invest in these different spaces. But essentially what this executive order does is it directs the Labor Department and other agencies to redefine what is considered a qualified asset for your 401k. There are a number of strict regulations around that, and essentially these employers, they are required by law to allow retirement options that are in the best interest of the employees, not Wall Street. And so traditionally you're able to put your 401k in a different...
That's funny, guys. Actually, I'll talk about that in this video as well, but that's also not 100% true, because some of the brokerage fees that some of these 401ks charge are ridiculous. And if the average American knew how much they were paying long term, they would have never signed up for some of these 401ks. But let's get back to this.
Combination of stocks, bonds, commodities, very known, traditional, safer assets, and you can change your 401k portfolio in terms of how risky you want to be. So what this would do, though, is once these regulations are rewritten, is it would allow an individual to put some of their 401k in cryptocurrency investments. Bitcoin, of course, has been the most popular one. You could also look at putting it in private equity investments and real estate. And the push behind this is to allow individuals, as financial assets, that landscape changes, to have more options. And Mugo, you and I have talked about this a lot. Cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, this was a major factor in the election for the first time, because 1 in 5 Americans own some type of cryptocurrency. This younger generation is much more forward in terms of where they feel comfortable putting their money, right? People are not just saying, yep, I'm going to go buy my bonds and my safe assets. They're also looking at cryptocurrency as something that they want to invest in. And so the president has signed this this executive order, in order to reflect that.
I see. All right.
So I would say that she's right about that for the most part. The average person isn't keeping up with the stock market, but the average person is keeping up with the price of Bitcoin. That is true. I like the idea of opening up the 401k market to more options, because at the end of the day, it is our money. We should be able to choose what we decide to invest with our money. Crypto, I don't know, but I think it's our money at the end of the day, right? So if we do want to invest in private equity or cryptocurrency, as long as we understand the risks. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that we understand the risks. So there has to be some kind of, on the back end, that way at least the employers know that they cannot get pissed off if they decide to buy some weird meme coin that goes to zero and they have nothing in retirement. But I think overall, I think it's a great idea. Obviously it's higher risk, but higher profit. If you look at the price of Bitcoin, the past 10 years, it has made a great return on its money, better than pretty much anything out there. So I'm not against the idea, but I do think it's risky, and I do think that it could lead to potentially people getting destroyed because they didn't know what they were investing in. And 401k it's your retirement money. It's not your Robinhood money. It's supposed to be for retirement. Do I think it's risky to put crypto in there? Absolutely, but diversification isn't a bad idea. So, and let's actually get into what I was talking about earlier in the video about some of these 401k brokerage fees, because people actually, if you actually look at the numbers, some of these brokerage fees that some of these 401ks charge you with is ridiculous. Yale University research says anything above 1% is a ripoff. I say anything above 0.5% is a ripoff, if you ask me. But it doesn't give you a specific amount. That's the thing. It just says reasonable. And in the eyes of the law, that is made to screw the middle class. That's what that, when they say reasonable and they can't give a percentage, that's to screw the middle class. That's to think that we're saving for retirement, but in reality, the hedge funds are ripping us off in the back end with expenses. And let me show you. Right there, between 0.5 to 0.2%. You might say, that's nothing. That doesn't matter. What's that? Well, let's actually look at the numbers and what a point, if you had a 0.5 401k versus a 2% over 30 years, how much of a difference that makes. Alright, so what I did is I just grabbed a mortgage calculator. You can find them all. This is NerdWallet's right here. And I plugged in the same numbers except for the expense ratio into both of these calculators, starting with $1, the same time period. And the only variable that's changed is the expense ratio, which from here, they're allowed to charge up to 2%, right? So we put in 2%, 0.5% for one, and 2% for the other. $5,000 a year, 8% return. Let's see what we get. Ending value, $555,000 for this account, and how much is this one? $419,000. So when people say that they want more options and they want to, and like I said, everyone's 401k is different. Look at yours before saying that it's a scam. But that's a huge difference. And who pockets that money? The gross is the same. It's the fees. Look at this. $55,000 for this one and $192,000 for this one. All based off of which 401k you're in. So if potentially opening up this market to more options could lead to lower expense ratios, more options leads to competition, I'm all in favor of it. And because I'm in favor of saving the average American, because if the average American knew how much an expense ratio actually costs them over 30 years, they might look at different options. And giving people the option because it's their money is the most important thing. So I'm in favor of this. Let me know what you guys think below. I think it's a great thing. Obviously, it's gonna take some time, and this isn't financial advice, but I would never say go 100% in some weird meme coin for your retirement. But hey, if it gets you excited to throw $20 in every month to your little meme coin for your retirement, that's your little ha ha ha, I'm gonna buy an island with it when it reaches 10,000x, go for it. I'm all in favor of it. It's your money, invest. Become an investor mindset instead of a spender mindset. And if that's what this does, I'm all in favor. Let me know what you guys think below. Have a great day.